Room Tua were associated with the Lukarawa group. Eyewitnesses' account said the accidental bombing in Sokoto claimed the lives of at least 10 villagers and left several others wounded. The affected communities, Gidan Sama and Rumtua, are located near the Surewa forest, a known hideout for the Lakurawa set and bandits. Away from Nigeria and in South Africa, the Munkonto Wasikwe MK party has warned that President Cyril Ramaphosa's postponement of the implementation of the Basic Education Laws Amendment Bella Act runs the risk of disrupting admissions for 2025. Last week, Ramaphosa promulgated the Bella Act after granting parties 3 months to find middle ground on sections 4 and 5. The MK party has condemned the National Economic Development and Labour Council (NADLEC) process that saw an agreement over the Solidarity and Representatives. Over the Bella Act being signed by Trade Union Solidarity and Representatives from the Presidency and the Department of Basic Education. However, the official opposition said there was no legal basis for the NADLAC process or delay in the implementation of a piece of legislation. While the process to implement the Bella Act has been set into motion, it appears not all parties are satisfied with the event that preceded Ramaphosa's proclamation of the act. In Libya, Libya's eastern-based government has said it had agreed on a proposal to end fuel subsidies and would prepare a mechanism to implement the agreement. The subsidy scrapping proposal was approved by Osama Hamad in Benghazi in a meeting with the deputy governor of the Tripoli-based Central Bank of Libya, CBL, Mari Barassi, and former members of the bank's board of directors. The administration, headed by Hamad, a rival to the internationally recognized government based in Tripoli, did not disclose further details about the proposal, as it is unclear if Ahmad's government will be able to implement the proposal in the divided country. In OPEC member Libya, a litre of gasoline costs just 0.150 Libyan dinars, the second cheapest in the world, according to the Global Petrol Prices online tracker. Still in Africa, Kenyans have criticized the Inspector General of Police, Douglas Kanja, over the statement regarding cases of adoption in the country. In a statement today, Kanja dismissed reports linking the National Police Service to the recent cases of abductions, stating that there is no police station in the country that is currently holding any of the persons reported to have been abducted. However, a majority of Kenyans seemed to disagree with the police boss on who is responsible for the kidnappings being witnessed in the country, wondering why the police had not arrested the abductors if indeed they were not involved in the incident. As reported earlier, CCTV footage emerged showing how 2 of the young men were abducted in Uturu, Nairobi, and Embu County for reportedly or supposedly posting offending posts about President William Ruto. And Mozambique Police General Commander Bernardo Ferro says 33 lost their lives and 15 others were injured in a prison riot as civil unrest linked to the October's disputed elections continue. A decision on Monday by Mozambique's top court confirming long-ruling party Frelimo's victory in the election has sparked fresh nationwide protests by opposition groups and their supporters who say the vote was rigged. Rafiu blamed protests outside the prison for encouraging the riot, but Justice Minister Elana Kida told local private broadcaster that the unrest started inside the prison and had nothing to do with the protest outside. Prior to Tuesday, civil society monitoring group The site said at least 130 people have been killed in clashes with police since the unrest started. Global Box is reaching you live from Adamimogo 107.7 FM. Ido-Ekiti. Still to come, Kremlin insists only legally binding deal will guarantee permanent end to Russia and Ukraine war. Please stay with us.
Hello, good people of Ekiti State and its environment. For your private, political, family, or club meetings, and so on, of not more than 50 to 100 participants, we introduce to you Adamimogo Event Hall. Yes, right at Oladoyin Palace, Adamimogo 107.7 FM's compound, Ido-Ekiti. Ample parking space, good security, clean environment. You also have the opportunity to book for a media publicity of your events on our fast-growing social media platforms. All these for a talk. Simply visit us at Oladoyin Palace, Ido-Ekiti, or call the following numbers for more inquiries: 0803 526 5812 or 0916 340 0878 or 0806 511 4430. You can also call 0806 380 8891. Adamimogo Event Hall. We are waiting for your patronage.
Welcome back and thanks for joining us again. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook via Adamimogo 107.7 FM, Ido-Ekiti. For happenings around you and news and inquiries, please contact our newsroom on 0811-801-8242. Now to the rest of the news. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov says the Kremlin sees no point in a weak ceasefire to freeze the war in Ukraine, but Moscow wants a legally binding deal for a lasting peace that would ensure the security of both Russia and its neighbors. In a statement today, Lavrov said a truce is a path to nowhere, adding that Moscow suspected such a weak truce would be simply used by the West to rearm Ukraine, insisting that a final legal agreement that will fix all the conditions for ensuring the security of the Russian Federation is presented. He added that Moscow wants the legal document drafted in such a way to ensure the impossibility of violating this agreement. Last month, President Vladimir Putin said he was open to discussing a Ukraine ceasefire deal with Donald Trump, but rules out making any major territorial concessions and insists Kyiv abandoned ambitions to join NATO. Trump, who has repeatedly said he would end the war, said on Sunday that Putin wanted to meet with him, but Russia says there have been no contact with the incoming Trump administration. South Korea's main opposition party says it will introduce a bill to impeach acting President Han Duck-soo today and hold a vote on Friday, a move that could deepen the country's constitutional crisis triggered by a short-lived martial law. The opposition Democratic Party had threatened to impeach Han if he does not immediately appoint 3 justices to fill the vacancies at the Constitutional Court. Journalist Lee See says if Han is impeached, the finance minister will assume the acting presidency. Han said earlier that he will not appoint the justices until political parties reach agreement on the appointment, because for him to do so without political consensus will harm constitutional order. And finally, on sports, Manchester City's struggling star will be forced to sleep at the club's training ground overnight ahead of their 12:30 p.m. Boxing Day showdown with Everton. Pep Guardiola revealed that his charges will be dragged away from their family homes and insisted he hopes they embrace the measure with open arms. City have lost 9 of their last 12 matches, the worst run of Guardiola's managerial career, and last tested victory on December 4 against Nottingham Forest. Their stars were given the morning and afternoon with their loved ones, and it is not uncommon for footballers to be hauled later on Christmas Day. They debuted the overnight sleeping measure in 2014, becoming the first Premier League club to do so, effectively using the Etihad campus as a hotel the night before lunchtime kickoff home games. And with that sports story, we end this edition of Global Box on Adamimogo 107.7 FM, Olojudo's Palace, Ido-Ekiti. Before we go, the highlight again. We told you that in Nigeria, the Nigerian Air Force has assured that it will investigate the fallout of an airstrike that reportedly mistakenly hit two communities in Silame local government area of Sokoto, killing several residents. We also brought it to you that South African MK Party has warned that President Cyril Ramaphosa's postponement of the implementation of the Basic Education Laws Amendment (BELA) Act runs the risk of disrupting admissions in 2025. Finally, we told you that Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov says the Kremlin sees no point in a weak ceasefire to freeze the war in Ukraine, but Moscow wants a legally binding deal for a lasting peace that would ensure the security of both Russia and its neighbors. And that's Global Box this afternoon on Adamimogo 107.7 FM, Ido-Ekiti, on behalf of the production crew.